Welcome everybody to the debut event of Occult Oshawa. This is mostly going to be pretty casual, just hang out, get a chance to talk to everybody, get to know the community. But we are going to do a couple things. One thing I'd like to do later is a demonstration of the I Ching, how to do a reading for the I Ching and type of divination from ancient China. And maybe we'll get a tarot demonstration as well. And then the rest of the time we can just chill and get to know each other and that sort of thing. Ruth and
Hello, everyone.
and myself organized this event, and I want to let you know that there are expenses involved in running this group, so we're happy to cover the cost, but if you do want to contribute, you can come to Ruth or myself later to give a voluntary contribution, but it's entirely free. Just putting it out there.
We're haunted. Is somebody else coming, but it doesn't have a body?
Yeah, is this a rapping, table rapping? Spirit communication. Okay, well, I guess I'll jump right into it. So the I Ching is an ancient Chinese form of divination. I believe it's over 2,400 years old. And what you'll do is essentially you derive hexagrams. And a hexagram is a stack of 6 lines, and each line can be either unbroken or broken. And so it's essentially a type of a binary system. And you end up with a 6-bit word, essentially. And I've heard some modern practitioners describe it as reading the code of the matrix. So when you do a reading, you use a non-linear method of deriving each line, and that is like getting a 6-bit piece of code from the matrix, and you ask a question and then you figure out how it relates to your question. So I'm going to do a demonstration of that, and what I'm going to use are coins. So there's different ways of doing it. You can do yarrow sticks, and you can even do something as simple as bibliomancy, where you just simply I showed D'Antoinette earlier, where you just basically take the part that's got the oracle in it, which in this book is dark, and you can just flip through it and then stop at a random one and then read that as your divination. But we're going to do a little bit more elaborate. So for this one, we're going to do coins, and get a blank sheet of paper here. Now, we'll do 3 coins. I've got 300 yen Japanese coins here. And then they'll either be heads or tails. So what we'll decide is the heads will be the numbers, tails will be the flowers. And then we just roll it. All right, so this one is pretty clear. We got 3 heads. So that is very clear indication that we have a single yang line, which is unbroken. So I'm going to put that at the bottom. So that's our first line. And then we do it 6 times in total. So the next one. All right, so this one has 1 head and 2 tails. So because the majority is tails, we'll do a yin line, which is a broken line. And because it wasn't all 3 tails, it's called a changing line. So I'm going to use a different color for that. So this is what we have so far, 2 lines.
So if they're matching, it's a solid line, and if they're...
No, if they're all heads or two heads, it's a solid line.
Okay.
But if there's one that's not the same,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a changing line. And we'll see where that comes in later.
Is it always bottom up?
Yeah, you start at the bottom and you stack them up. All right, so this one was again 2 tails, 1 head. So we'll do another yin line, and we're going to use green as the changing lines. So now we actually have a trigram. And so these actually have meaning as well. And if you get further into this, you can go really deep. So you end up with 2 trigrams stacked on top of each other, and that can give you even more. But in this simple demonstration, we're just going to go for it. We're going to do the second trigram. Okay, so we got 2 heads, 1 tail. So again, it'll be a changing line. So we're going to use green still, but it's a solid line. Because we had 2 heads, and heads are the solid. Okay, we got 2 more to go here. Okay, we got 2 tails, 1 head. So that will be a yin line or broken line. Okay, so that's what we got so far. We got 1 more to go.
What does it do?
This will derive a hexagram, and then we can look up what the oracle associated with that hexagram is. It's kind of like figuring out what tarot card we're going to get. Okay, so we have 2 tails and a head. So again, it's a changing line, and it's yin. So now we have our hexagram. So this is like similar to getting a tarot card out of a deck of 78 cards. We're getting 1 of 64 hexagrams. And now we can figure out what that means. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up. There's a chart here.
Would you typically be asking a question or something like that, or can you give a topic?
Yeah, typically we would ask a question, but this is a general for the Occult Oshawa event itself.
Our question is this working?
Yeah. Give us some insight on Occult Oshawa, the event. Okay, so the bottom trigram, the lower trigram, is thunder. So this is the thunder trigram, and the one above it, actually, it's thunder trigram over thunder trigram. And so if you understand what each trigram means, you can already start to understand what type of a reading or result we're going to have. So then I'm going to use this thunder and thunder. Thunder trigram over thunder trigram ends up with hexagram 51, jolt it's called. So now I'm going to look up trigram 51. Almost got it. Right here, jolt. So then you look up the trigram or the hexagram, and then you can go line by line, but we're just going to read the oracle associated with it. Now this is basically ancient Taoist, esoteric Taoist wisdom associated with each of these hexagrams. And we're going to see what it said. Let me get my glasses here. The shock of fate has hit you. Circumstances seem beyond your control. This is the hexagram of force majeure. Unforeseeable situations that prevent you from fulfilling what you seek to fulfill. Do not allow, here we go though. Do not allow cataclysm to weaken your will to survive. Yes. While you cannot control the circumstances, you can control your response. In time, you will fully recover what you have lost. It is still auspicious to go forth on your endeavor. Find the eye of the storm that is the calm at the center of a cyclone. New beginnings brought on by sudden sharp turns. So, overall, it's a positive result.
Open wrong portal or something?
And to be honest, it was pretty chaotic in here before we started. We didn't expect this many people, but I'm super happy that we got that many people. Now, to go forward, what we do now, we got our first hexagram. And if you wanted to, you could go line by line and go through it and explore much more in depth. But the next step, we're going to skip that. The next step is we take any line that was clear. It was all three the same on the coin face. We're going to keep that the same going forward. I should have probably done it on opposite pages there, but we're gonna do that bottom line was clear, so it stays the same. Solid yang line. Now all the other ones.
Can I ask a question? What was the difference between that solid line and that one? That was yin?
These are both yang lines.
Okay.
But this one we got it with 3 heads.
Okay.
This one we got with 2 heads and 1 tail.
Okay.
So it's going to change. So the I Ching actually means the book of changes. So we're going to see the change happen right now. So the first line was clear. We don't change that because it was all 3 heads. But all the other ones were weak. They weren't solid, all 3 the same. There were 2 of one and then a bit of the other. Kind of like a yin yang, right? There's a little bit of the other in it. So we're going to flip those.
Literally not re-roll them, just invert them?
Exactly. We don't have to re-roll anything. We're just going to go and we're going to take this broken line and we're going to turn it into a solid line. This broken line becomes a solid line. So this one stayed the same because it was all 3 heads. But this one, these ones were 2 tails and 1 head. It wasn't all 3 tails. So it's a changing line. So now we changed it to yang. Similarly, this yang line was 2 heads and 1 tail. It wasn't all 3 heads. So we're going to change that to a yin line. And similarly with these 2 yin lines, we change those to yang. So now,
So every reading you do the second part too?
unless all of them were very clear.
Oh.
So on occasion, you will do all 6 lines, and every single line will be very clear. It'll be all 3 heads or all 3 tails. And then you know, it's like, no, this one. This hexagram, that's your answer right there. But most of the time you end up with at least 1 changing line. And then so you'll be able to derive a secondary hexagram from that. So in this case, this is our secondary hexagram. And then I'll look that one up in the chart here, the front of the book. So the bottom one is heaven. The lower trigram is the heaven trigram. And the upper one is wind. So it's wind trigram over heaven trigram. So the bottom one was heaven, and the top one was wind. So we end up with hexagram 9. Cultivate gently is the name of hexagram 9. And we will look it up.
Cultivate gentleness.
Cultivate gently. It means nurture. Basically means to nurture. Cultivate gently, nurture it. Like, yeah, well, you know, depending on, yeah, go
That's like a
easy.
very different thing than what the first one said.
Yeah, very different. So it's the spark hexagram changes into cultivate gently, and that's our full reading. So let's see what it says for the omen. section of that. Where is it here? There we go. So this is it right here, and there's a image of it, and the original Chinese material for it. And then we're just going to read the oracle portion for this, but you could go much deeper into it if you wanted to. All right. Success in minor undertakings, ominous to endeavor in major undertakings. Passivity has taming power. A storm is brewing, and it is uncertain whether the clouds bring a rain that will nourish the fields or a rain that floods the rivers. It is a period to wait and see. Secrets, confusion, clouded judgment. The only way through it is to be a subtle and unseen influence. Change conditions gently. Okay.
Wait,
So,
like that was the complete opposite of the first one.
Oh, it's not.
Can we do one
it's not.
more?
I wouldn't say it's complete opposite. The first one was.
Thunder.
There's
First
a
one was
lot
kind
of
like,
chaos.
Go, like, seek it, find chaos, and the second one was like, let's be slow.
Find
and,
the
like,
find
wait.
the center, the eye of the storm. It said, remember?
First one.
This is like how to navigate the eye of the
Find the
storm.
eye of the storm,
It's
and
like
then the
the
second
how to
part,
find
yeah,
the eye.
exactly, like Dave said. Now the second one is like how to grow within the eye of the storm. You know, so I think it's very relevant.
Like the opposites aren't usually like meant to be like polar opposites. They're meant to be like more complementary stuff. Yeah, it's not a move forward.
Yeah, like the way
Instead
forward.
of just like contradicting each other.
Yeah, totally, I agree.
Well, and often too, the opposite of a great truth is another great truth. Like,
So that, in a nutshell, is how to do a basic I Ching reading, and hopefully you gain something from that. And it's relatively simple once you understand. You build up the first one by stacking lines, and so you have to figure out a way to derive them, and we use coins for this. There's a bunch of different ways. You can do grains of rice, you know, but there's the way that we did it, I think, is a very accessible way, and it's very clear whether it's a solid unchanging line or a changing line. You pick, if it's two heads and one tail, you know that's going to be the solid line, but it's going to change when you evolve it into the secondary hexagram, and that sort of thing. Were there any questions that anybody had about how to do that, or anything related to I Ching?
How long have you been doing this for?
I haven't been doing the I Ching specifically for a super long time, but it's something that I've gotten really into lately. It's something that I've kind of played around with in the past for, I don't know, probably, I first got introduced to this probably about a decade ago. But I didn't like connect with it at the time. But a few months ago, I started really connecting with it, and I started delving really deep into it. Tarot actually is something that I've been really, really into. So I already have a background in divination, and so I was able to kind of transfer some of the skills over from that. But I've been studying and practicing tarot for 30 years now. And but
I don't know about
I
you
Ching, I've
guys.
only been really into it for a few months now.
Tarot, I find very so hard. I do. I find tarot so hard to grasp. Where if you give me oracle cards, I could do it. I'm more of an oracle person, but tarot, I'm in awe of people who can translate that.
Yeah, well, with tarot, it's interesting because if you think of it as you can think of it as an alphabet and a set of words. So the major arcana are to symbols, individual symbols in that alphabet. And within that, you have 3 elements: water, fire, air. You have the 7 planets of classical astrology, and you have the 12 signs of the zodiac. And that makes up the alphabet of 22 symbols of the major arcana. The minor arcana, each individual card in the minor arcana can be seen as a word that combines 2 of those symbols together. So really, you just have to know the 3 elements, actually 4 elements, because in the minor arcana you also have earth. And those are the suits. The 4 suits are the 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire. And then you also have the planets and the zodiac and that sort of thing. So by combining them, 2 symbols per card in the minor arcana, you have words.
See, that's too confusing.
So you can chunk it down.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
You end up with 78 individual cards in a standard deck, but if you chunk it down, you can learn them bit by bit. And then start with the major arcana, and then you can learn how to combine them to create the minor arcana cards.
I've literally bought cards where it tells you what it, like the tarot on the side, and I'm still like, sorry, sister, it's not working.
Well, the very first tarot readings that I ever did, I had a universal weight deck. It's like one of the classic ones. And I would just, at my friends in high school, I would like, do you want a reading? And they'd be like, yeah, okay. And then so I would pull out the card, and then I would look it up in the booklet, and I would just read like a list of keywords from the thing, and they'd be like, what does that mean? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just doing it. But then as I did it more and more, I found certain keywords kind of jumping out at me. And as I got even more experience, I found that I was able to weave them into kind of a narrative that related to the question that they were asking. And then through that kind of unlocked it all right there. And then further development, I was able to memorize all 78 cards. And then I didn't need the booklet anymore because I have my own internalized deck. And then any other deck that I happen to pick up that's based on a standard 78 card deck, I can use as a physical proxy for my own internal deck. And that was kind of the development. And this is a minor arcana deck that I created out of a deck of playing cards. And I just took the extras, the jokers and the brand card, and I made an extra court card, a princess card, for each of the 4 suits. And now I have a 56 card minor arcana deck. And you just can translate diamonds to pentacles, clubs to wands, and hearts to cups, and spades to swords. And then it's basically the same thing. If you know the tarot, you can do regular playing card readings as well, cartomancy. Any questions? Eric, were you going to give a demonstration?
I could, but I think we should hear from Ruth too.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't bring anything. Sorry.
I'll say a few words.
Yeah. Sean, did you bring us a stick? Not today. Okay. Yeah.
I can take my notes. You say some words while I do.
So I have a question. Does everybody have their own preference of what they do? Like, do people channel? Do people do cards? Like, what is everybody drawn to?
I read palms and I read tarot.
Oh.
I've been reading tarot for 40 years, so I'm like you. I've been reading them. I started very young.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, in my teens.
40?
40. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
40 plus.
Nice.
Yeah. But like you, well, with me, I wouldn't read. I never read my friends. I was always reading the adults because I felt like I couldn't. It's hard with kids, like
Oh, okay.
other young people,
Yeah.
to relate kind of serious issues. At least that's what I found when I was doing it at the time. Anyway. So I was always going to parents' parties and then reading. It's like,
Oh,
that
cool.
sort of-
That's really cool.
Anyone else? No?
I'd love to have an introduction round, actually. People want to, like, say a sentence about themselves and why they're here.
So my name's Dave, by the way.
I don't read tarot, nothing like that. I just read facial expressions. It's spidey sense. It's great.
Me? I'm mainly here just because my best friend is here, and also I'm just curious about the topics in general. But it's interesting activity.
Awesome. Your shirt is great, too.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I love your shirt.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
I'm here to hopefully find people who want to engage in devilish entertainment.
I'm Sophia, and I've kind of started reading tarot recently, so I've always been interested in the occult, so trying to get more into it and find a community. I play with tarot, I have my own readings, but mostly just work a lot with intention and manifestation.
I'm Eric. I've been designing my own tarot deck for about 3 years now.
Wow.
Which has been lots of fun and a big education because actually I didn't know a lot about tarot before I started. So,
Cool.
yeah, best way to learn is to do something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
I think actually your experience, that like just being totally mystified by almost all of the 78 cards in a regular deck, and just like I wanted to make a divination system that wasn't so esoteric. So my cards are all like modern. You will recognize the meaning of the card by its name.
Okay.
But I did try to map them at least somewhat to the Rider-Waite-Smith, although this
Based on the imagery, trying to match the images to
trying to
someone.
match the meaning a little bit. In the end, like I wanted it to match much more than it does, but I had to give up lots of stuff because it just wasn't working. Like my desire for a modern deck doesn't match the ancientness of the tarot. There's just all kinds of things. Like even the courts, I couldn't get king, queen, page, and knight to work in a modern deck, and so I had to abandon that. Yeah. Anyway, I've said way too much.
Hi, I'm Scotty. They, them. I'm a nurse. I'm just more like in the pagan side of this whole topic. Just kind of whatever's going on in my life at the time. I like to see if that matches up in the honor of deity related to it. I have to get through it.
Hey, my name is Alec. I'm a maker. I just like making things that I feel my muse. I make it. I get a lot of ideas. I keep a lot of journaling. I kind of I make body jewelry, leather stuff. I've made designs for, or I guess tarot decks for people, and yeah, anything that I find I can make anything out of it. Whether it be part of for a reading or something that I just want to own and keep seeing.
I'm Chris. Also largely manifestation intention. Studied poetry as well and many things to do with dragons. Much more of a collector of tarot decks than a user of tarot decks.
Here.
Don't ask me how many I have.
Right?
But I do home readings.
Oh,
Different types
cool.
of wood, trees.
That's something that I wanted to look more into. I'm really intrigued by that.
You say
The
Om?
25, right?
Yeah.
Om? Is Om?
Yeah.
O-G-H-A.
O-G-H-A-M.
I've heard it.
Pronounced Oum.
Yeah. It's like the tree alphabet.
Yeah, it's like Celtic.
I have a set from a long time ago that I got from England and it's made of the tree, each tree.
Whoa.
Like different woods for all of it. Wow.
That's
crazy.
amazing.
You
That's
should
so
bring that at
cool.
the next meeting. We want to
I would love to see it.
We need to show
I would
it.
love to see it. Yeah, that would be great.
Hello, my name is Goran. I bought a pair of cards years ago. I haven't touched them yet. That's, but I'm interested in all kind of, people call them weird stuff, right? And like occultism, I studied it years ago. I studied that, studied Kabbalah, studied all kind of things. What is, not regular people study. And I'm still learning. There's so many new stuff. So, new people, new stuff. I'm sure that everybody else has some other things too beside the cards too. I'm hoping that. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm Antoinette. What can I say about me? I definitely fall more on the witchy side of myself. Most definitely. I love a good oracle card. Like I said, I have many tarot, but cannot tell anybody anything about it, although I try. And I'm really harnessing my channeling skills. I teach yoga and I do Reiki, and I find a lot of times when I'm doing Reiki readings, I will channel and I will tell you a whole bunch of shit that I don't remember at the end of every reading. But if I focus a part on your body that's calling to you, I will be able to, what I'm told is I will just go on about everything. And then when it's over, I'm just like, don't ask me because I don't remember. And I can't give you any details. You're given what they told me to tell you, and that's about it. But I just came tonight because I want to learn more. And I feel everybody has things that they can bring to the table that we can all take and make one little ball for ourselves and grow it. There's no one right way to me, so that's why I came tonight.
I'm Christopher. I'm a sound healer and graphic designer, and I've been doing tarot for maybe over 26, 27 years. I've been doing it. I've also dabbled into runes, and I practice druidry too. He goes Christopher, he goes Chris, so we know that.
You call us Chris Squared.
Chris Squared. Tea leaves I've done too, runes, so I dabble into different.
Do you find words hard? Sorry, I'm like monopolizing this. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. That's
The
good.
runes, they're a little more different, like because they're so, they're like the Om too, they're just like one symbol, so there's a lot, you do have to know an intuitive sense of what it means, as opposed to the tarot has so many iconic elements and symbols. My tarot's more my thing, runes are a little more abstract.
My name's Andrea. I feel like I was drawn to the occult since I first saw horoscopes in a magazine, and I just ever since then I was into like all the witchy, different occult, strange things, and like that part of the bookstore. I was just always drawn to things that you can't really explain, that you can't necessarily prove or disprove. And I think it was the search for language to understand myself, and also the way that I think we all want to understand each other and connect with something beyond distance. That's kind of where it all comes from. But I've been interested in tarot a lot. Or I have a few beloved oracle decks of mine. The Rumi Oracle, and I don't know if you know that one. Lately, I've noticed in the past year, I love feeling like the personalities of different decks. So that's something that's been really interesting for me. But yeah, I just want to also have some interest in learning about Reiki as well. I've been interested in that for a while. But I just want to meet other people who are interested in the same stuff.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Christine. I've always felt kind of directionless with practicing alternatively, but then I was introduced to the goddess Bridget it was either January or February, and I've been trying to dedicate more to her for guidance and to develop myself in order to help other people. And I came today because I like to know what other people practice. I've been to another occult meeting in Curtis, and I like to hear what other people are practicing. Like someone was a devout, someone is into the worshiping of Lilith. Like I like to hear what they do in their daily practice and see if I can maybe bring it into mine or learn something new.
I love your Ouija board planchette earrings.
I got them in Salem.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
And this sacrificial offering.
I also got this in Salem.
There you go. My name is Danny, and I'm here purely out of curiosity. Hello everyone, my name is Ruth, and I'm the person who put up the ad of the Oshawa. I love ritual magic, and I love, right now I'm working primarily with Hecate. I'm a dedicated devotee. I absolutely love working with her. She's been an amazing journey for me right now, and oh gosh, where do I even begin? Like I've always had this gift of of connecting with energy. So I do practice Reiki. I'm a massage therapist, and like when Eric, right now he lives in a historical house, and when he actually got the house, I actually spoke to the house. And I went and I connected with it, and I feel like I have this gift of just connecting with energy. And I've never really explored that much, but I feel like I'm really getting into that. And I think part of the reason why I moved to Oshawa was for me to kind of expand on that a little bit. So I was in a group in Toronto for a few months with discussing esoteric things, but I decided it was time for me to start one here in Oshawa, and just to meet people. And I really love like equinox rituals, getting together and doing like full moon rituals, new moon rituals, and just doing like ceremonies together. That is something I'm very, very, very passionate about. So I hope everyone is into that, or maybe a little bit interested in that. And then definitely like just coming together, and if somebody has a passion, they can share it. And if somebody wants to learn something more, we can definitely come together and then brainstorm about how we can learn those things. And definitely just sharing like what has worked for us, what has not worked for us. I think as a solitary practitioner, it's really hard. Like you kind of do it so much by yourself. At some point, you kind of, I feel like it's so important to have a community. That's why I'm doing this. So
Well, thank you.
for coming.
Thank you.
This is Mark.
Oh, my name is Mark. I'm an Occult. That's right. So I'm would consider myself on the left-hand path, Luciferian. I don't like to adhere to strict dogma in any sense. However, I am in the order called AA, which was started by Aleister Crowley in the early 1900s. So that would also make me a Thelemite to some degree. But yeah, most of my practice has been with the Goetia, so that's kind of my area that I've spent the most time.
My name is Sean, and I like to call myself a student of divination. I've always been interested in the way the world communicates, the universe communicates to us. So I practice oracles, I look via oracle cards and auras, and then it's interestingly pronounced. There's like 4 different words for it, but in essence, it's candle wax readings or ceromancy. So that's what I practice personally speaking.
That's
He's very good, very, very good.
cool.
Cool.
I just love what everybody brings. This is so cool.
Yeah, super cool.
So there's a piece of paper on this end. If you guys want to leave your contact with me, just to gather people's information and we can just go from there, like in terms of what we want to do in the future. And then I want to hold these meetings once a month. If you guys are interested in coming, and then you can be more focused on what we're going to do, so we spend time more wisely. So I guess now we can just, what would you guys like to discuss?
Your turn.
What's Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
He's got he brought the paint.
So is there ideas of like a Facebook group or like for like talking between meetings?
Discord or WhatsApp?
Right now.
We should do a